Hey everyone, it's Harry from Hasper TV. Hope everyone's doing well. It's Friday. As you can tell, there's not many people here, if not anyone. But anyways, we do have some Spurs news today. If you guys want to join, please click on this link. But yeah, let's get started. So first of all, obviously, let's talk about last night. Where do we go from here? Honestly, guys, where do we go from here? It's just really poor, really poor. 1-1 first leg result. If you guys saw my morning um like post match video, you may have seen I was very disappointed with the game. I still am very disappointed with the game. And yeah, I mean, what can you say? They scored an early goal and then you know, and yeah, obviously he did not play Spence last night. And for me, that was a big issue because, of course, Spence for me has been our best player the past 3 months, and for him not to get a game is kind of like a bit blasphemous, if I'm being honest. And especially because Porro, I think, has been. I know he scored the goal, but I think he's been quite, not that great this season. And I mean, what can you do? It's just not that good. But for me, can we still win the second leg? I still think we can win the second leg, actually. So unsurprisingly, I still think we can win the second leg. But it's a massive ask. And if you heard what kind of stuff Poch and said in his presser, like I don't know, like guys, I don't know like what he was talking about because he started talking about like what was it? Another excuse, in my opinion, about how teams treat Spurs and like this sort of thing, and it's just I just don't get it. And it's just really poor. It's just really poor. I don't know where we go from here. To be honest, and I don't know what this guy is even on about anymore. Like it's just like I just don't get it. I don't get it. And yeah, it's just not very good, is it really? But yeah, it's just this guy is he's just full of excuses really, and at this point for me, I don't know why and how he's still here. I think that's what bothers me the most. Like, how is this guy still here? Like, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Um, but it's just what can you do? Just not the first stage is just not good enough. It's just not good enough for me. I don't think he should be playing the second leg. Like, I don't think he should be in the second leg. But we will probably do that, right? He will be here next Thursday. So yeah, but we do have some other Spurs news today. I can't say this guy's name right. Apologies in advance. Vinay Venkatesham. Probably didn't say that right. He's taking over Scott Munn's role at Spurs. From what I've been told, he's not that great. So I don't know why we're doing it. Like, it's a bit weird. But yeah, just not that great. At least Scott Munn's going, but from what I heard from Arsenal fans about this guy, he's just not that good. So why are we getting him? I don't know. Like, to me, it baffles me. But yeah, I guess that's Tottenham for you. Vinay Venkatesham. And yeah, and according to David Heitner, it means that Scott Munn's going, right? So, like I said, where do we go from here? But yeah, this is what I mean, right? Like, I don't really know what the club is aiming to try and do, but I guess this guy was a slight improvement on Scott Munn. So yeah, what can you say? But of course, we have got Wolves away in the next leg. Sorry, not next leg. On Sunday. I say will he rest players? If he doesn't, I'll be very surprised. Yeah, like I think he'll play Gray. Who we got else? All these younger players, I think personally, I think you should play stuff like Ajayi or Lucesi. Just might as well put all the youngsters out because we've got nothing to do. Mikey Moore will hopefully get some minutes, and he probably will rest. Okay, Van der Ven's definitely going to get rest, and I think Romero probably will as well. So it'll be kind of like a mix. But Sunday's kind of a dead rubber, and I hate to say it, but Wolves need the points more than us, which is probably what's going to happen. I think Wolves will probably beat us. So, what can you say? It's kind of a dead rubber game, Wolves. So, I think Wolves will probably beat us, if I'm being honest. And I don't see it going any other way, really. Yeah. But this thing to me is like the clubs clearly see it as an issue, right? But they go and get another guy who, from like I said, what I've been told, I think he's quite poor. So why are we getting him? Like, I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. But yeah. But as for the second leg, guys, what do you guys think is going to happen in the second leg? If anyone wants to hop on, just please click on this link. But the second leg, we do, like I said, I still do think we have a chance in the second leg. But the problem for me is that our away record in Europe is not very good. Even more so under Ange, like his European record's really poor. So, but do you guys think this guy joining means the end of Ange as well? Because Scott Munn is the guy who actually brought in Ange. So do you think the club are taking it another direction? Because I think it's quite an interesting topic to talk about. I want to touch a bit on the protest because obviously I went to the protest. Was it successful? I think it was. I think the protest was. Okay, we had the same amount of people as last time, which is good because at least it gives some stability. You're going to love that word stability if we get Thomas Frank next season. But so at least, we're retaining the numbers, let's say, right? We're retaining the numbers for the most part. And I think it was better organized. That's why I think, for me, this is better praise because, okay, we carried on. We came from last time. We started at the same area and we carried on. On top of that, I thought the banners were more organized. Like all the banners went at the front. What I thought was a really good idea. Whoever thought of that, well done, mate. I thought it was a brilliant idea. So, yeah, I think it was relatively successful, to be honest. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But, I was discussing this with someone yesterday. Like, will the protest make a difference? Now, I think we have to do it regardless, whether we think it will make a difference or not, because I don't think Levy's going to leave right now. Like, I don't think he's going to leave right now, or even anytime soon. I think it's going to take a while. And like I said, because I think Ange is gone at the end of the season, I think Ange kind of admitted it himself, like he's gone. So for me, he'll bring another manager. He might buy another 2 years. Obviously, Poch is someone that people have thought about that might come in. I still think there's a small possibility it could happen. Like, not large, but I think it's a small possibility Ange could come. But, yeah, guys, as for new managers, as you know, I want Thomas Frank. And I'm going to do a video on this once Ange goes. I'll do a video on, like, the manager I want and why. And I kind of accepted a few things. But as for the protests, we have to do them. But kind of, and it sounds weird me saying this, not expecting a result, like not going there with a certain outcome in mind. I know that makes no sense to people, and people might not understand what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is, you have to do it without like attachment to it, and there's a sense that, okay, if we protest, it's going to go tomorrow, for example, right? Because he was not going to go on. Hey, you're right, Alex.
Yeah, what's going on? Your resident box office is turned up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, well, I should be outside enjoying the sun, to be honest with you, because I don't really want to waste any more my time with talking about Tottenham.
Mate, I saw you on Tottenham away last night, by the way.
Huh?
I saw you on Tottenham away last night. Mate,
Oh, really?
he went on like what midnight? Was it against Ian? Was it midnight or something like that? You went on and
Yeah.
you were like ripping into Tottenham, mate, for like 20 minutes, bro. I was just like laughing my head off while watching.
Oh, bro. Honestly, this is why I don't
Yeah,
go to games anymore. Because
yeah.
honestly, when I go there, I just get annoyed now. I can't go anymore. Honestly, I can't bothered anymore. Can't be bothered anymore. It's just, yeah, it's just annoying. The fact that I'm now praising, it's not even a praise, because he does a little bit more because he's young. Berval, because at least
Mm,
he shows a little bit of initiation, his initiative to do
mm,
something with the ball, actually trying to switch the play. You know what I mean? Try and run with the ball, try and make things happen. That sums it all up for me, doesn't it? Really, you know, a young 18-year-old. I'm praising that. I'm saying I don't want to go over the top of him because I think he needs to do better next season. You know what I
mm.
mean? I need to see you know, a long term view on him. He's not wowing me. But I see things there, and I'm sitting there saying, "Well, why am I not seeing this from Madison? Why am I not seeing that from that reject Bentancur? You know what I mean? From Juventus.
Juventus
Why am I not
reject.
seeing that from Kulusevski? Why am I
Yeah,
not seeing that from other players? You know what I
yeah.
mean? You know, and these experienced, supposed to be experienced pros. So I don't know what else to say, really, to be honest with you.
Like, for me with Berger,
Um,
I'm with you. Like he's showing glimpses, but it's still so early to say. And our fan base just goes over the top with every player. Like, mate, like every player we get, like young player, like Gray, for example. Yeah, everyone's going over the top, being like,
but where is he now? On the bench.
yeah, yeah. Hey, you're right, mate.
On the bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
So it's
like
just,
Bergwall's good. Like I think it could be a player there, but I kind of agree with was it Stell who put it on it saying that we need a better coach for him, like you say as well. Yeah, like if you could bring some experienced player alongside him, like a proper player alongside him, and a proper manager, I think he could cook. But not under this manager, bro. They ain't gonna do it under this manager.
he's doing it himself.
Yeah.
He's teaching himself.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because assistants, and he's just sitting there thinking, well, I've been taught somewhere else, and I think I've been better taught somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I don't know, man. I don't
What do you
know.
think of
I
him
don't know.
dropping Spence? By the way,
Sorry?
what do you think of him dropping Spence or resting Spence? What do you think of that?
I think it summed it up when he came on,
Yeah.
right? First thing he does, goes down the wing, goes down the line, right? Down the bar line, right? And he puts a cross in. What did we do? What did we do before? Nothing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, yeah, we had a few good play, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? It's just like it's the same thing. It's like I was sitting there hearing the same complaints that we talk about on stream. Johnson, what did he do? You know, on the wing. Son,
Yeah.
what's he doing? Oh, Solanke, what's he doing today? And I'm like, okay, no shit, yeah, really. It's not like we haven't been talking about it for how long. Boring
Doesn't score goals.
conversations,
Doesn't
man.
score
It's
goals.
boring, man.
Yeah, he doesn't score goals. Henry, you right, mate?
Yeah,
Yeah,
hi.
yeah. Hey, you right?
How's it going?
You're wait. You support Palace? I can't remember. You're a Palace fan, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
Yeah, but he went to the game last night. Um,
did.
so Henry, as a neutral, what do you think of the game?
Um, I thought. Well, before the game, to be honest, I didn't have much high hopes for Spurs. I'll be honest, just based on the way they've been playing, their form, their manager, like the tactics, etc. But afterwards, I think I'd be, if I was a Spurs fan, I'd be a lot more encouraged. As in, I kind of feel like they've shown themselves a bit like more than they've kind of proved that they've got a bit more than maybe people thought. Like I thought the second half performance was really good, albeit they definitely should have scored. I don't know how they didn't get it over the line, especially at the end. Like the last chance. I don't know who it was that someone just should have made clean contact with the ball and just. I thought it was kind of a weird game because the first half was so much worse than the second half. I don't know what happened at half time, but um, yeah, that's basically what I thought really.
Because like for me, yeah, like the first half, I thought they were in control until we scored, and then we went for like a 10-minute spell where Spurs were like doing something, and then it went back to normal. Like they got back control. Then the second half, we had that 20-minute spell where we had those chances, and
Yeah,
then it went back to Frankfurt, and I thought Frankfurt kind of saw the game out as a draw. Really, that's how I felt anyway. So it was like again, we see some glimpses, but the problem is that I know you don't support Spurs yet, but like for us
no,
who watch us
but
every game,
I've
like
been to
we
quite a few
don't get a
games.
90-minute spell
Yeah.
of, I say 90-minute spell, 90 minutes of like consistent good football. Basically, it's just yeah.
Yeah,
But like, what do you think of the fact that he dropped Spence? Like, do you think it
I
was the
don't
right call?
understand it at all. Like,
Yeah.
why would you drop Spence?
Mm,
Like, the league game's been nothing now. Like, let's be honest.
mm,
Like, I mean, obviously you can't just rest all of the. You can't just play the kids because
mm,
momentum is important to a degree, but
mm,
you got to look at it and think like the league season is dead now. There's nothing to play for. Spence has been far and away their best defender. Um, like by a long, it's not even close. Like by a long way.
yeah.
Um, and like he must have been fuming on that. But like he must have been like, what am I supposed to do here? Um, and you know, to not play him is just it's just really stupid to be honest. Like it just shows how I'm not a fan of Ange at all. Like I genuinely like I really dislike the guy in terms of he's tactically inept. That's one thing, but another thing is the way he behaves. Like his press conference, the things he says. Like the guy is he's just not likable at all in my opinion. Like if your manager is saying stuff like, "Oh, even if I win, I'm probably gonna go anyway." Like, what kind of attitude is like?
Yeah.
How are the players meant to feel
Mm.
like listening to that? Like, it doesn't inspire confidence, does it?
But like when you compare him to Glasner, like what do you think are the major differences? So I'm curious because obviously we were linked with Glasner last week, innit? But
Mm. Well, I hope there's nothing to that.
yeah, yeah.
but
Like, what do you think the differences are like compared to like if you could compare Glasner and Ange? Like, do you think he's like tactical, he's better, or do you
well,
think
yeah,
everything like?
tactically, he's just a lot smarter.
Mm,
I feel like Glasner kind of has that calmness and that presence, and
mm,
he has more. You can see the patterns of play developing on the pitch. He makes substitutions when he needs to, unlike Ange, who just stands there and crosses his arms and expects things to happen. Like, I mean, yesterday, like, he didn't make a sub until, well, I think it was like the 79th minute or the 78th.
yeah, you're right.
And, like, where I was sitting, everyone around us pretty much was like, make a sub, make a sub. And even I, I'm not a Spurs fan, but I was getting a bit pissed off because it's like you could see the game in front of you, and it's just this guy is just it's almost like he's forgotten that subs were on, that he could make subs in a way, but
Yeah.
um, no, yeah, I think Glasner is in a different league to be honest. Like, I mean,
Oh, I've heard about
uh,
this. Yeah.
he's won the Europa League.
Mm. But as in
Like,
like, because I don't watch Glasner's press conferences. Like, is he a lot more warm? I don't know if that's the right word, but like a lot more.
I think he
I don't know.
just
Like, he doesn't disrespect fans, does he, or anything like
no, not
that?
really, not really. I think he's
No.
kind of like he doesn't give the press too much to play with, if you know what I mean.
Mm. Mm.
Like he doesn't give. Sometimes the press they try and make something, like they try and get
That
more
pushing.
what there
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
But I feel like Glasner doesn't really fall for the bait. He just kind of says what he thinks. He doesn't get drawn in to any like. He just
Drama. You say
yeah,
drama.
no drama. He
Yeah.
just he just kind of he's very like respectful
Mm.
of every like even Southampton. I remember when we played Southampton, and he was like saying that anything can happen and you got to take every game as seriously as the next and stuff like that. Like he's just got more of a winning mentality.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because I know a lot of our fans are like, there's still fans out there, still back Ange. So I mean,
Yeah, I don't know how, to be honest. Like, especially like Sim. Like, I mean, I don't know what Sim is.
oh, how do you know about Sim?
Oh, because I watch sometimes. I watch the Tottenham TV.
We are Tottenham TV.
Yeah, sometimes I watch it.
Apparently, he's Ange out now.
Is he? All right.
Yeah.
So,
It's
took him a while, didn't it? Like,
yeah, it's funny. Alex he even knows about Sim being Ange.
Well, listen, I've got nothing against him. I
Yeah.
like Sim. I like Sim. I
yeah,
like
he seems alright. I
Ben.
just think he's a bit deluded. Really.
I might think they're a bit deluded sometimes, but it is what it is. But like football opinion, and that's it really. But they do give me some good reasons. Sometimes I do listen to football reasons, and there are football reasons. But yeah, I mean, it's not really a case of whether he's getting sacked; it's when he's going to get sacked. As far as I'm concerned, is what we're going to do to replace him, and that's where my concern is at the moment because I know they'll get somebody worse. So because they've got record of getting people worse, hence our midfield,
Mm.
hence our director of football. Even though I didn't like Parategy, but Parategy's better than Johan Lang all day long. And I can see us getting a worse manager than Postecoglou. I can see it.
Is that really possible though?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I can see it. I can see it. I've just got a record. That's why I'm so zoned out at the moment. So
I mean,
I don't know. And the fact that we are signing that reject from Juventus Bentancur again on a new deal, it just sums it all up for me. Really, to be honest with
isn't
you.
Tell worse though, Alex? Like they're apparently going to start sign Tell on permanent.
I wouldn't know, and I don't really care anymore, really, because if they're making that sort of decision without even thinking about who's about their manager, I don't know what there was to say. To be honest with you, Harry.
Because like
Yeah, I mean,
all the links today are open again to X, yeah, and they're like, Tell Spurs want to sign Tell for like 40, 50 million on permanent because they've been impressed by. And I'm like, what are you impressed by? The guy's not done anything. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I don't get it.
no, he's got potential. He's a generational talent. That's what he's got. That's his CV. That's
So,
his CV.
who do you think the mole is in the squad? Because Andrew was talking about this in the press conference. That someone's leaking stuff.
Is that more nonsense that he talks about?
Yeah,
Oh, honestly,
yeah.
honestly, I don't even know what I don't know. I don't know. I think the guys. I don't listen to this guy when he talks. I just can't do it anymore.
I agree.
I zoned out a long time ago with this guy. Listening to press
Yeah.
conferences, but that one's a good one. That one was a good one. The mole in the camp.
Yeah.
But now it's the mole in the camp now. Bloody
Did
hell!
you see what he said when he said something today about what was it? Oh, the football gods aren't shining on me.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
I mean,
It's like,
well,
what
like,
nonsense is
what,
this?
how are you expecting people to feel sorry? Like you just, oh, look at me, woe is me, feel sorry for me. Oh, we're not getting any luck, blah 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 blah. It's like, grow up, man. Like this, this guy is just the arrogance of him. That thing he said when oh, I was winning my second season, mate. Like look at your CV. Like even if you did always win in your second season, like your CV is like the only club that anyone's really heard of properly is Celtic, and we all know that Celtic, you just have to beat Rangers basically to win that league. Like you get one tough game against Rangers and maybe a tough game against Aberdeen or something, but that's about it. Like it's not really hard to find a manager with better credentials than Ange when you look at his CV. And the fact that he's won very I mean, it's like Australian clubs and Japanese clubs.
Mm.
Like, where does this guy think he is? Talking like he's like among the best managers in the world.
This is that's what I mean. He thinks he's like really prestige, and he's not really. Alex, did you see about that guy we got from Arsenal? Apparently
I don't know what to make of that right now.
yeah.
I don't know what to make of that right now. I'm just I've got to do my own research on it to find out what I'd make of it, because at the moment there's one part of me's a bit fishy about it. What's he here for? You know what I mean? I'm trying to see what sort of job he did at Arsenal, but to be honest with you, I think it's more commercial than football. To be honest with you, with the guy, I don't know. Just the initial thoughts and some of the things, jobs that he's done. I think it is initially. I think it's more commercial for me. I don't know.
Interesting.
But I think it's something that we just got to see how this watch this space and see what happens, really, doesn't it? Really. But I mean, I've kind of made a joke about it. Does that mean that he's got control over sacking Ange and getting the manager in? But again, it goes back to what I say. Tottenham have got the enough resources to find coaches, unknown coaches in Spain, France, Germany, Holland, that Bournemouth are finding, that that Brentford found, that Brighton are finding. That we've got enough resources to find these coaches and find the coaching staff, and have these coaches around, every 18 months or something like that, or whatever it is, array of portfolios of coaches that are coming up, or whatever it is, that can coach players and make them better. If you're going to do this huge project, and we're not doing that. You know what I mean? We're going with the regulars, which is cool to do that, but at the same time, sometimes it's good to do your own research and find these managers. You know what I mean? And pinpoint them, and that no one really knows about them, and then they gain a reputation starting from Tottenham. But we don't want to roll the dice. I know exactly what we need. I know exactly what we are as a club now. I know exactly where we are as a club now. So,
who'd you get in then?
Well, my dream manager at the moment would be Eddie Howe.
Eddie Howe.
But the problem with Eddie Howe is that I asked this question on my show a couple of weeks back. I said, would you have taken Eddie Howe after Bournemouth?
Yeah.
I would have said no. But obviously now we're saying, with hindsight being a beautiful thing, now we would take him now, wouldn't we? Because what he's done and what he's learned and what he did to improve as a coach. So now you're looking at coaches that are out of a job right now, and do you think some of those coaches that right now are going to other clubs and trying to learn how to improve as a coach, to improve as their abilities to be better as a coach or manager or whatever? So you're looking at the managers that are available at the moment, maybe Terzic, Ten Hag. You know what I mean? You could look at some of the coaches in Spain. There's a guy called Ingo Perez at Rio Vallecano, who used to be assistant assistant to Areola and Donny Areola. So there are coaches out there. There are loads of coaches. The Stuttgart manager.
Yeah. You mentioned
there are loads of coaches out there that you could get that could coach. I mean, obviously Oliver Glasner obviously won at Frankfurt, then left, taking a little bit of time out, learned his from his mistakes. Obviously, he went to Crystal Palace, and now look at him now. He learned from his start of this season when he had a really bad run, and he's learned and he's improved, and now look where he is right now.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's just really for the club to do their own research and just to make sure they're getting the right sort of coaching. You know what I mean? And sticking to that sort of coach. I'm not really that fussed about the football now. I just want someone that can coach and do develop players and also um, be able to adapt to the players that he's got, and then maybe sprinkle a few things that he wants to do as well. But that's what we need. We need somebody that can adapt and someone that can improve players, young players, improve, and get to another level. And if they do get rid of those players, get them for good big money, you can, you can keep churning out different players, and that's it for me. That's what I need. That's what I want. But
Not gonna happen.
I need to see it now, Tottenham, man. I don't possess to see something come in and then start jumping on about it. Even if we do get the manager I want to see a result. I want to see how it transpires, and then I can really make my decision. This is really going the right way about it. You know what I mean? But and I was waiting. Never was on board. Never was on board. There's more to do with Levy. And then I looked at Ange, and he's not even that great. So all that hype at the beginning, when we was jumping up and down, saying, "Oh, well, it's so annoying, it's so annoying. Oh, it's so annoying, it's so negative, it's so negative. Why can you not back a manager? Why can you not back a manager?" There's your proof. There's your proof.
He peaked too early, didn't he?
And I zoned out, and now I'm off to go and enjoy the sunshine. So big up to everybody. Big up to everybody in the everyone in the show. Please like and subscribe to this show for Harry's. Big up to him. Big up to everybody.
Yeah.
And take care of yourselves. And see you later. Right, take care of yourselves. Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah. I don't think we'll go for much longer because it does seem to a lot of people. But I don't know if there was an issue with YouTube earlier because I saw something on my thing saying about linking channels as an issue apparently. Anyway, but I don't know. So this is why. So I was quite surprised that my stream's working because I was reading something that maybe might not work, but it's working all right. So it's good. So obviously you're not a Spurs fan, but obviously we have the second leg next Thursday and we play Wolves on the Sunday. Do you think Ange will rest like the whole team on Sunday against Wolves?
Oh no.
He won't.
Well, because he's deluded, isn't he? Like,
yeah.
Let's be honest about it. He's just.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he'll rest some players, and he'll probably play some players that he shouldn't play as well. Like that's just what he does.
A mix of
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
That's very Ange, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like a little bit of everything. But obviously, you lot. How many points does Palace have?
How many points? 43.
You're above us, right? Aren't you? You're like 6 points above us, aren't you?
Yeah, we are above you.
So obviously, this kind of game doesn't really mean much to you either, all Spurs, because you're kind of safe already.
Oh yeah, we're definitely we're pushing for top 8, top 9 to be honest with our form.
But what I admire about you lot this season is obviously Olise got sold, and you guys have still carried on like doing well.
Yeah, I mean we made quite smart signings to be honest. Like, and the thing is that we have a manager and a board who kind of are on the same page, and they've made signings that can play in Glasner's system. Someone like Ismail Assar, who didn't have the best season at Marseille, but fits in with Glasner's plan.
He's made it work, hasn't he?
He's able to track up and down the pitch. He chips in with goals. He works hard. Just it seems that we have a good thing going, but it's interesting with Tottenham right now because like they have. I don't know why they can't find a way of making it work. I mean, it's just mainly down to the owner, of course, but you'd think that they would have won something, but there's just it's the man. They're just the manager, really.
So do you think that Ange is more of a problem than Levy, or is the other way around?
No, well, no. Obviously, the problems kind of starts at the top and runs all the way. I think Levy, obviously, he's the protagonist, but I think Postecoglou is not doing any favors to the club and the fans right now with the way that he's acting. Like, this is I can't get my head around some of this the stuff he says. Like there's been
Yeah.
videos of him obviously snapping back to fans. I'm sure you've seen them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Um,
And obviously the cupping of the ear as well. I
the
was like,
cupping of the ear, yeah, which he denied, and I don't really know how you can deny it. The evidence is there, like, but yeah. But he said something like to a journalist, and he used an example. He said, "Right, so you're a journalist, right? If someone said, 'Oh, you did a terrible article yesterday,' what was that about?" And then he got his phone out, and then he said, "So I got my phone here." So and then he goes, "Oh, that was a shit article, mate. What the fuck was that about?" Like, and then sort of like filmed it, like shoved a camera in front of someone's face, and then so he thinks that his reaction is somehow justified by being filmed by a phone. I was like, I understand that people can get like wound up when you got someone putting a phone in your face and you're going to be on social media, etc. But at the end of the day, mate, like I'm not being funny. How many videos have we seen? Like this is just the modern day reality now. How many videos have we seen of that happening to other managers, and they haven't reacted?
You have the same opinion as me, right? Because if you're in the modern day, you're gonna know if something bad happens, you're gonna get clipped, especially as a manager.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, so why are you acting that way? Like, I don't get it. Like, he could have just
Exactly.
ignored.
Like,
He could have
just get
ignored
on with
it.
it. At the
Or,
end of the day, right? It doesn't excuse retaliating like that. Like, I'm sorry, but you're like a
a grown
grown
man, obviously, a grown
man
man. Yeah.
representing one of the biggest football clubs in the country on social media. Like, how? It's like, what world is he in? Just get on with it. Take it like a man.
Take it back. Yeah.
It's just it's it's the guy is in one of the most. He's in a privileged position. He's in a privileged position, and he just thinks that somehow because social media is a thing, and people put phones in front of his faces, which is going to happen, and you just have to accept that. Like,
It's inevitable, isn't it?
when
Really?
you're in such a highly publicized role that he is, it's going to happen, and he thinks that that's an excuse to behave like a child. Like, and then no one brings it up or anything. Everyone just goes, "Oh yeah," like, just
Yeah.
blows my mind. But
Yeah.
no,
Yeah. Unfortunately, this week there's not much to talk about because it's just Wolves is on the weekend. We're probably going to rest players, and then with Frankfurt's next Thursday, so it's not
can
like
I
that
ask you?
exciting.
Are you more hopeful
No,
about this? I know. I know
I
it's
thought we were going to win at least.
no. I know, but like having seen the second half performance, are you a bit more hopeful about the potential of the second leg now, or are you thinking that 1-1 it suits them more? So I guess maybe you're on the side that
You're
you
right, Mark. You're right. The German fans were nuts last night.
yeah, they were. They're jumping up and down in their scarves and everything.
With the Poznan. But like for me, I'm not completely ruling it out. And the reason I say this is that so I'm Greek here, and Greece plays Scotland in the Nations League. I don't know if you saw this,
Yeah,
and we lost the first leg 1-0 at home, and the second leg we went to Hampden Park. It's Hampden Park, right, Scotland,
yeah, if
and
I
we
say
won
that.
3-0 in the second leg. So
Yeah,
we went through. As in, we went through. We like qualified for a Group A for Nations League. So like there is still a chance. It's just for me, it will come down to the fact if we score the first goal, then I think we can do it. Like we have a good chance.
Mm.
But if they score first, I think we're in big trouble.
Yeah, I think just navigating like the first 15, 20 minutes is going to be really crucial. Like, because I saw Frankfurt really came out the traps yesterday, like in the first like 20 minutes of that game, and obviously they got Ekatike who can cause damage like we saw, and
Yeah,
I just think that that defensively it's weird that they don't. It's like they don't know, and it's kind of a pattern of modern football these days where it almost seems like everyone tries to play the same way, and like I'm all for I think the influence of Guardiola is a positive thing, like mainly, but
yeah,
it really frustrates me when I see teams that really struggle, like quite evidently, to keep the ball, and they lose the ball in dangerous areas and get hurt by it. Like how many times yesterday they lost the ball in their own half, and nearly paid the price. And it's like you're seeing that in like with the Ipswiches of the world and the Southampton and Leicester and everything. It's like it's almost like a crime to play a long ball these days.
to be fair, we got Mark. To be fair, like Frankfurt did play some long balls. I noticed last night. Like
Yeah, they've had some.
they weren't just the
Yeah,
same thing all the time. Yeah. So to be fair to them, I'll give them that credit. But you're right. Not a lot of teams do that.
but, it's just I
Yeah.
don't. Nah, it's just weird, really. But it is what it is these days. I'm a bit like you in that when you said
Yeah.
that you watch a lot of old Premier League games just to kind of
Have some excitement.
yeah, because I do
But
kind of miss that era. I mean, I'm gonna sound like a dinosaur when I'm older, being like, oh, I missed the 2000 and you know
mm,
2005 to sort of 2010 sort of time.
well, that was a good time for football. Actually,
Yeah,
it was a very good time for football. um,
definitely.
what was I going to say? It's come up my head now. It's like, yeah, it's just uh, everyone's playing the same way because someone told me, I can't remember who it was, that he knew about some things happening at Stockport or something, Stockport County, something like that, and they were trying to copy the same style as like Pep, basically. As crazy as it sounds,
It's stock. Yeah,
but this is
stock.
a team in what division are we talking? I don't know, second
I think
League Two,
Stockport
League
are
One,
League One now, pushing to be in the Championship. But
and they're trying
you
to
know,
copy. It's just baffling.
it's weird, isn't it? And then
Yeah,
you see centre backs taking goal kicks. I mean, what's that about?
I don't get that at all. It's just mad, isn't it? I don't get it at all. Yeah, Mark's older. Um, but yeah, I think I'm probably ending the show because there's nothing really to talk about. To be honest, like it's kind of dead. um, but yeah, Henry, thanks for coming on. Do you want to shout out
No,
your socials at all, or
nah, not
no?
really.
You ain't. You're a Paris fan, anyways. um,
I am, but yeah. Thanks for
no, it's
yeah.
fine. It's fine. For me, yeah, that's why I put the link in the chat. But it seems quite quiet today. I don't know why it's like quiet on YouTube today. I don't know what's going on. Like it's a bit weird, but anyway.
That is
Um,
strange.
sorry.
That is strange that it's quiet. Normally.
Normally it's quite busy, so I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on. But
yeah.
maybe it's probably because maybe people are off for Easter. I don't know. But yeah. I'll be back next. Well, I'll be back on Sunday morning because I'll have recorded my post match review. But I'll be back next Friday, probably at earlier time because It's Good Friday, so I actually have time to actually do stuff. We're a lifetime team. But yeah,
Lifetime. What does he mean by that?
lifetime team. Don't worry. And then so Ange out, Levy out, and Common use Spurs.